I never met a gauge I didn't like.
Unlike most modelers who run one or maybe two different gauge models, Dennis Cannon runs 6 gauges on a 500 square foot layout boasting 800 feet of track.
Well, the largest size is the G gauge, the LGB, and then from there we go down to the standard. I think the standard gauge train, because it's tin plate and it really looks and invokes a lot of tin plate memories to a lot of people, that's a very interesting train. And when you get into the lower gauges, I like the scale and realism of the S gauge. And O, well, we all know about O. O is just such a popular gauge, O and O27 with a Lionel name on it. And HO is really cute in the city. That's the trolley.
More is better when it comes to Dennis' philosophy about gauges, and this philosophy carries over to his rolling stock as well. Dennis can run an amazing 15 different trains, trolleys, and antique cars at any one time. One of the trains Dennis still runs on this layout is the very first train his dad gave him, an S-gauge American flyer. He learned another helpful lesson from his father when it came to creating his own layout.
One of the things he did was he built the layout extremely low. And even as a young child, I remember seeing it and enjoying it without being picked up. I wanted to do the same thing for my layout for children. So we kept it down about 26 to 30 inches. But I think it's most fun, and you'll even find adults stooping down in the layout and looking at ground level and remembering those childhood memories. The trains are long, and those trains can actually be totally hidden in a tunnel. Sometimes a train will go into a tunnel and stay there and come out later on, and a visitor or viewer will say, wow, I didn't remember seeing that. There's also one train that will enter the tunnel on the level side of the layout, actually on the ground side, and it elevates through the tunnel and comes up on the higher side or the elevated side. It runs through the city and reverses its direction, goes back in the tunnel, and then actually it descends back to the original ground level of the layout.
His fascination for tunnels is only exceeded by his appreciation for illumination.
If you count the stars and you count the perimeter lights, I think we're looking at around 1,400. We can actually dim the lights. We can provide any kind of intensity. It's interesting when you look at a city, when the city gets a little sleepy, around 10, 11 o'clock, well, the lights dim. So we can control those lights. The overhead lights are all controlled on dimmers. We can turn off all the house lights at one time. We can just use street lights. But lighting is, I think, very key and essential to many layouts, and we have a little bit of that layout magic to show you.
To get children of all ages involved in checking out all the bells, whistles, and details involved in his labor of love, Dennis has developed something of a scavenger hunt game.
Oh, probably when he gets to the top, he's going to turn on the light. Yeah.
What we've done is we've created a sheet where we give to the children or adults, and on that sheet we ask them to find certain hidden items, either operating or not. So as you go around the perimeter layout, there's letters, and you will take down an A, B, C, D, whatever letter you see closest to that piece. At the end, we give you a score, and if you're a winner, you get a prize. Could be as little as a candy cane, or it could be a flashlight or a Santa surprise. So I think it's kind of interesting for the kids.
From the first director set ever made in 1913 to over 70 operating displays, there are plenty of things to discover.
The famous memories in my lifetime were my trains and my father setting up my trains. So trains always invoked fun times and holidays. When I come home from work, again, it invokes those childhood memories, and sitting back and just turning on all the lights, turning on the trains. It again evokes those memories of childhood and fun. And I get down eye level and watch the trains go by, pulling into the station, whatever. And again, we're back into the 60s and into the 50s, into the great times where, families enjoyed layouts and trains and holidays.